Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and a happy good morning to you wherever you are. This is a Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by Johnson Jardinas, located at 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. That telephone number is 424-4656. Johnson Jardinas Daycare is more than a daycare. It's an educational institution. It's a place where you can take your children, and you don't have to take them because they will pick up your children. Where they will learn. They will not only learn mathematics skills, English skills, but they will learn everyday living skills. Mrs. Gloria Mathis, with her personality, and her staff are there to greet your children, to make them feel just like they should feel important. That's all at Johnson Jardinas, 1643 Northeast 50th Street in Oklahoma City. That telephone number is 424-4656. Today is the day that you can go shopping at Hometown. You can shop from early in the morning until midnight at Hometown, located at 2001 Northeast 23rd Street in Oklahoma City. And when you go in, I want you to look at some of the bargains that are available. A big thank you today from the Gates Barbershop. Robert Gates and his staff would like to thank you because you know that at Gates you can get the type of haircut that you want, not what the barber wants, but what you want. That's all at 2609 North Martin Luther King here in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I just got through talking to Marilyn, and Marilyn said she wants your insurance. If it's car insurance, health insurance, hospital insurance, whatever kind of insurance you want, Marilyn says she wants to be your agent. And there's a special emphasis on life insurance. That telephone number is 843-0811. Today's program is a very special program because you're listening. And when you listen to the Clara Luper radio show, I know you are listening, and that makes me very happy. Last week, the Amigos Club celebrated its anniversary. It was an anniversary that will long be remembered. The Honorable Attorney Calvin Davis from Lubbock, Texas delivered the speech, and it was outstanding. The decoration was prepared by Mrs. Lady Ruth Hunter. The anniversary dinner was prepared by Maryland's catering service. The MC was Linzetta Jones, and did she do a job? It was something that we will always remember. Congratulations to the Amigos Club as you celebrated your birthday. This is one of the oldest clubs in Oklahoma. It was founded in 1949. I had the opportunity on August the 29th to go to the Church of the Living God, number 290, at 555 East Wilshire Boulevard, where Overseer Johnny Roseberg Jr. is a pastor. I was so impressed with the church and what they believed. They had a souvenir books which stated that we believe that the children are our future. On that day, they were paying respect to Randy Ponder. I was a member of that church, and all of you remember Randy and how much we all loved him. And it was known as the Randy L. Ponder Youth Day. I also had the opportunity that day to be a part of the Derek Wilson's scholarship program. And because I was so impressed, I invited the chairperson of that program here to be with me today. And Mr. Norris Wilson, how are you today?
I'm very well, Miss Luper. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm fine today. Just thanking God for the opportunity to have you here. And a special hello to Wanda Wilson, who's the secretary of the scholarship committee, and to the treasurer, Yvonne Thompson, and most of all, to that entire committee. Now, tell me about the Derek Wilson Scholarship.
The Derek Wilson Scholarship was formed a few days after he was buried in 1986, and it was formed for the reason of helping the youth in our local church. It's a memorial scholarship within the walls of that church where we try to get children to be active in the church program and body there at that church, and to carry a 2.50 grade point average in school. And we try to help them work on their skills and their knowledge and their abilities, whatever direction they go in life.
Derek was one of the most promising young men that I have ever taught. He was very active. He loved his church and he loved his pastor, and he would always tell us about what Bishop Ponder said, and it was quite interesting. I understand that he worked on the junior trustee board. He was in the choir, and his accomplishments were so many. Now, you have this scholarship all set up for him.
Yes.
In his memory.
Yes.
Okay, tell me more about it.
The scholarship has a criteria, and the criteria is a very simple one. We ask that they participate in that local church and to attend services if they're in college at least 2 Sundays out of a month, and to maintain that 2.50 grade average. And then to qualify for the monies to get the scholarship, you have to turn in a official form of your grades from the school that you're attending to show that they're official.
All right, you have to do all of that
Yes.
in order to get the scholarship.
Yes.
Okay, is it a one-time scholarship?
No, it's as long as you qualify, there you get monies every semester you're in college.
Every semester?
Every semester.
Every semester, if you would get that Derek Wilson scholarship, you would get some money, providing you have that average.
As long as you qualify, meet the criteria, you get money for that scholarship.
Is that just open to the members of your church?
It's just for the members. It was set up just for the membership of the church.
And what church is that?
Church of the Living God, 555 East Wilshire, Temple number 290.
And who is the overseer?
Overseer Johnny Roseburg Jr.
Now, suppose somebody would say, I want the scholarship, and they'll come there and join the church in order to get the scholarship.
They could do that.
And then what happens if, after they have finished, they decide to go to another church?
They could do that.
Okay, well, y'all are very liberal. Okay, now, one thing, I never shall forget the introduction that Mrs. Ponder gave me.
Wasn't that wonderful?
I wish I had that taped. I would like to just play that over and over. I've never been so wonderfully introduced in my life as I was at your church. And so, wonderfully received.
Yes.
Y'all are very kind, and I do appreciate it. And I noticed, how did you get all of those people to work together?
On the committee, from things I've learned in the fire service and things I've learned just being around you, Miss Luper, I learned to let people show their expertise and let them be a part. You got to get people to have ownership in working together as a team. If you don't have no ownership, you can't get their best. Ownership and teamwork is everything to me.
I don't understand what you mean by ownership.
Let them use their talents and their abilities. If you don't let them use their talents and abilities, in other words, I like to surround myself with people who know things and want to do things.
Well, I think that's being smart.
I think it is too.
Because if you fool around on the ground, you'll always stay on the ground. We just got to call it here. How do you apply for the scholarship?
It's you approach any of the members of the committee, and you get your paperwork together. We ask for a letter of recommendation from your teachers or your school you go to, and after you meet the criteria, just present that criteria documents to me or anyone in the committee, and then we'll look it over in our committee meeting, and then we'll get back with the person or individual.
When do you apply?
You can apply any time. Usually right before August, and then right before January, that's when we have our meetings. That's when we get ready to present those who qualify for the scholarship right before August and January.
Now, you stated that we should apply through the scholarship committee. Who are the members of the scholarship committee?
Our secretary, Wanda Wilson, our assistant secretary, Audrey S. Wilson, our treasurer, Yvonne Thompson, our overseer, Johnny Roseburg Sr., who's the pastor, Sharonda Wilson, Emma Wilson, and myself, Norris A. Wilson.
Okay, call those names again, please.
Norris A. Wilson, who's the chairman, Wanda Wilson, Audrey S. Wilson, Yvonne Thompson, and our pastor, overseer, Johnny Roseburg, Sharonda Wilson, and Emma Wilson.
Okay, now let me ask you again. When do you apply?
Right before August, before the beginning of school, and while after your first semester, before the second semester of school, which is before January, right in the beginning of January.
Do you have special projects to finance this scholarship?
The only special projects that we have in financing the scholarship is we have a musical and a Randy Lloyd Ponder Day once a year in the last week of August.
You mean to tell me with those two programs you have enough to give a scholarship?
Yes, ma'am.
About how many scholarships have you given so far?
We have given over 30.
Over 30 scholarships?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you are a small church, aren't you?
Yes, we are.
And you have given over 30 scholarships?
Yes, ma'am.
That is just wonderful.
God has blessed us.
God has really blessed you. Well, I know the other churches out there hoping God will bless them to such an extent that they will give scholarships to their people. Now, do you have anything else special you would like to say to the people in Oklahoma?
I would like to thank all those who have given to that scholarship program. And I most especially like to thank you for coming, and you have said how eloquent that you was introduced. I want to say how eloquent you were in presenting that program to us and the message that you sent to the young people about their character, the way they need to dress, the way they need to prepare themselves for school and to get ready and set their goals early in life. And we want to thank you on this show today for coming and being so eloquently in your address to the whole congregation.
Thank you so very kindly. I always say to everybody, give me my flowers while I live. And speaking of flowers, I would like to thank those of you that sent me flowers last week. I do appreciate it, because when I die, I don't want you coming there with some resolutions. I resolve to remember Clara Luper. You resolve to take me out to dinner when I'm hungry. That's the resolution that I want. Mr. Wilson, I would like to congratulate you. You've given your life in the service of people, and you were in the fire department for how many years?
I was working on 27 when I left.
27 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And you retired from the fire department.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you are working with us, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so very kindly, and thank you for being my distinguished guest today.
Thank you for inviting me.
This is the Clara Luper Radio Show, and today we pause in memory of September the 11th. They were sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, relatives, friends, and sweethearts. They were babies. We should never forget the martyrs, and we would take strength from their blood and legacy. It broke our hearts to lose over 3,000 people, but they did not go alone. A part of us went with them. No farewells were spoken, no time to say goodbye. They were gone before we knew it, and only God knows the reason why. If we could have one lifetime wish for a dream that would come true, we would pray to God with our hearts and souls for yesterday and for all over 3,000 of you. We think of you in silence, and we often speak your names, but all that is left to answer are pictures in our feeble minds. Yes, through years to come, people would travel to the site in New York City and place flowers with care. No one knows the grief and pain that has been suffered, or if tears could build a stairway and heartaches could make bridges. We would walk a path and bring all of you back again. But one thing that we can do, we can pause and remember you. This is the Clara Luper radio show, and today's show is being brought to you by CP's Catfish and Miss Maryland's Gumbo. And I keep saying my ands because I want you to remember, and Clara Luper's Lemonade, and Calvin Luper's French fries, all at the State Fair. Calvin Luper is rushing out here because he wants to tell you about that State Fair and where we will be located. You know, so many of you come to the fair and say, I couldn't find you. Why can't you find us? All you've got to do is come to the transportation building, the north side, and there we are. Let me repeat. Clara Luper's Lemonade, and I would not dare brag because I'm from Hoffman, Oklahoma, and I know I'm smart because I graduated in the top 5 of my class. However, there were only 5 in my class. But I want you to know that I know how to make lemonade. Calvin, how in the world are you today?
Mom, I'm totally fantastic. How are you doing this beautiful morning? And this is my special kind of Saturday morning because I'm so happy to be a part of this, the Clara Luper radio show, live and in beautiful living color. You're talking State Fair, and I know next week this time we will be there on Stagecoach Road, and CP's Catfish and Miss Maryland's Gumbo, we are together. We are located on Stagecoach Road. We're west of the B-52 bomber. We're east of the arena. We are on the north side of the Travel and Transportation Building. So you can go in the Travel and Transportation Building, get your wife or your girlfriend a new car, a new truck, a new something, and then you can come out that north entrance, sit there behind or there at CP's Catfish and Miss Maryland's Gumbo, and look at that, just watch the people as they go by. But then you have an opportunity to enjoy that great catfish, or one of those big heaping bowls of Miss Maryland's Gumbo, or some beans and rice. Or if you really got it going on, shrimp on a stick. That's right. Shrimp on a Stick will be available this year at the Great Oklahoma State Fair. We want you to be a part of it. You know, there's so many opportunities that we miss. We'll catch every ride, but then we'll miss some of the great food at the fair. Now, there's a lot of food there, and I want you to save some of your money till you come by there and you got some CP's Catfish and Miss Maryland's Gumbo, beans and rice, and especially the Clara Luper Lemonade, and definitely that Calvin Luper French fries. Oh, my goodness. I'm getting hungry thinking about it.
Calvin, you better tell the people that we don't set the prices out there.
Well, I don't have to tell them that. Everybody knows that when you hit the fairground gate that the rides cost so much, you know, the food costs
we don't set
exactly.
The prices.
You know that all the Coca-Cola prices are the same. You know that all the French fry prices are the same. But the goodness is what you're after. The goodness is there on Stagecoach Road, located north side of Travel Transportation Building, west of the B-52 bomber. Big old bomber. You missed that, then you didn't need to come to the fair. Then on just east of the arena.
Okay, Calvin, we have someone on the telephone. Hello?
Hello, this is Wisdom.
All right, hey.
It takes both rain and sunshine to make a tornado.
It takes both rain and sunshine to make both a tornado.
See, let me go so you understand.
Okay.
Yeah, do it again.
It makes both rain and sunshine to make a rainbow.
Oh, great. Make a rainbow. Thank
Look
you.
You're good. It's so great to
We
hear
miss you,
man.
and boy, people really miss you. They've been calling me and say, where's your wisdom? I need some wisdom, and today you've given us some wisdom.
They asked me about you, too.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, so very kind.
And
The sunshine to make a rainbow. Okay, thank you so much, Fluky. It's so great to hear your voice.
Thank you, Fluky.
This is the Clara Luper radio show, and I promise you one thing, that I'm going to always give you the best.
Mom, you have the best coming up. This company, the Nona Company, I want you to listen.
Okay.
Hey, you know what I forgot to tell everybody?
What?
To sit back and relax and to call that friend and neighbor.
They don't have to call that friend. Their
No, they
neighbors
need
are
to
very
call
important.
somebody.
Okay.
Some people need to be awakened this morning. But call that friend, call that neighbor, invite them to be a part of the Clara Luper radio show, live and in beautiful living color. But listen to this from a good friend, a good bishop, a good man that has a great idea. Go ahead, Nona.
Greetings. This is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. My name is Elder Robert L. Gray. Allow me to introduce you to a product named Tahitian Noni Juice. This name is registered by Tahitian Noni International, headquartered in Provo, Utah. Tahitian Noni Juice has been used by the Tahitians of French Polynesia for over 2,000 years for medicinal purposes. Tahitian Noni Juice is now being used here in North America and by people all around the world to help with conditions such as cancer, lupus, fibromyalgia, chronic pain, high blood pressure, diabetes, lack of sexual desire, menstrual cramps, arthritis, and much more. The doctors are amazed at the results that their patients are getting. It is listed in the PDR, or Physician's Desk Reference, as a product with 0 side effects. Yes, I said 0 side effects. It's in the news frequently. Tahitian Noni Juice has become a worldwide brand name that has surpassed the efforts of the likes of Microsoft, IBM, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, and Federal Express. I and thousands of customers and distributors around the world are genuinely excited about the real Noni Juice, that is Tahitian Noni Juice, and we are inviting you to call toll-free 1-866-973-2595. Again, that toll-free number is 1-866-973-2595 for more information about purchasing the juice for yourself and loved ones and are becoming a distributor. The number to call is 1-866-973-2595. That's a toll-free number at 1-866-973-2595. This is Elder Robert L. Gray. God bless you and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Elder Gray. What is history other than the stories of men, places, and events? History is a long, unraveling story wrapped in words, pictures, graphs, and maps. Sometimes only a name appears, Dred Scott. Then an event, the Dred Scott case. The pages of American history are filled with vast ideas that have influenced men and women from generation to generation. History, in its truest sense, is an unfinished story of people who shape today's world through actions and by their responses to uncontrollable circumstances. The Dred Scott stories come into Oklahoma City out of the sleepy pages of history. It is a story of how Dred Scott, a slave, sought to control his own destiny and an inner look at some of the people that were involved in his life. The name Dred Scott, previously only a name in the spectrum of history, whose real story has never been told before, although his name is forever carved in the eternal pages of American history. The NAACP will present from Freedom Center the Dred Scott story, starring Dominique Brown. This is Clara Luper, and I have a very distinguished guest that will be with me, and you're going to be
Oh, thank you
thrilled.
so much, Mom. You're talking about me.
Oh, Calvin, I'm not talking about you.
I was
But I say
you
one
said
thing.
distinguished guest and looked at me. Oh my goodness, what a difference do we make? You know, one thing that is coming up along with the Dred Scott story. I'm looking forward to that. You didn't tell us what date it would be.
I didn't tell you because
but
I didn't
know-
want to tell you today. I
You're
want you to look
absolutely
for
right.
it. Just tell.
Okay, I'll look
Because
for
I
it.
know I can see people turning the pages of history looking for Dred Scott. But
You know, a lot of people
we're
don't
going to have to
understand
write
what
our
Dred
own stories.
We have to.
And I think the Dred Scott
Well, we got to
story.
have to make our own
I
story.
think the Dred Scott story has been written so professionally. And guess who wrote it, Calvin?
I have a good idea who wrote it. I know that name. You wrote it. Clara Luper
that's,
wrote it.
that's exactly.
I love this
I
book
did,
here. It
yes.
says The Dred Scott Story, a historical play by
Clara
Luper. Now, it's going to take some strong actors. And,
well, we
to,
have
to
it.
do it.
Dominique Brown will be playing Dred Scott.
Okay.
And his lovely, I'm not going to tell you
Okay,
anymore.
well, I'm certain we'll be
But I
hearing about
know
it. But this will be an opportunity. You know, the play, Brother President, you presented
Yeah,
from
no
Dungeon
doubt.
High School.
Yes.
And it led to the
A
Attorney
trip to New
General
York,
in Alaska, a trip
That's
to New York
right.
City. Now, an internationally known attorney.
That's right.
All kind of things. Locally known great attorneys, insurance agents. My goodness. But
no telling what will come about the Dred Scott story.
You're absolutely right. Well,
Okay,
we have a caller.
Okay.
Good
Hello?
morning, caller. How are you doing?
Hello,
Yes.
this is Rosa Mae Walker.
Yes.
As I see it,
As I what?
as I see it by Rosa Walker,
Okay.
progress is still being realized in the state of Oklahoma. The Oklahoma United Methodist Conference selected Dr. Robert Hayes as bishop, and guess what? Dr. Hayes is a black bishop moving here from Houston, Texas. Progress is moving on. You can hear Bishop Hayes September the 19th at 3 p.m. at Quail United Methodist Church. As I see it, I know Oklahoma City is going to support Quail United Methodist Church. Not only that, as I see it, the Dred Scott case and play is going to be the biggest success that the Freedom Center has ever promoted. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Both of you told
as I
us.
see
Can
it.
you imagine a United Methodist Church with a black bishop?
Well, Mom, I can't imagine a black bishop in any church, let alone a United Methodist Church. But
I'm
then
talking about the United
things have
Methodist.
changed.
Okay, things
And
have
things
changed.
are getting better.
And I know
At the end of the
I can get
rainbow,
that.
with hard work and
Okay.
dedication, no telling
We have another
might have a
call,
black
Cal. We
pope
better
one
get
day,
that call because my guest is here.
Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome to the Clara Luper Radio Show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coco Thomas,
Hey.
your fantastic reporter. The NAACP Youth Council meetings are every Monday night at 7 o'clock, and I hope to see you all there. Also, today is the annual Soul Bowl, where the Millwood Falcons will be taking on the Douglas Trojans. So all you Trojan fans, prepare to be defeated. This is Coco Thomas, your fantastic reporter.
Did she say that Douglas is going to be defeated?
I don't know,
Yes.
Coco. Coco.
Yes.
Hello? Would you repeat that, please?
Today is the annual Soul Bowl where the Millwood Falcons will be taking on the Douglas Trojans. So all the Trojan fans, prepare to be defeated.
Oh, she said prepare to be defeated. They are preparing to win. Douglas is going to have to come up with the winner.
Coco, you feeling all right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you sure?
We have 3 Douglas graduates in here.
Are you sure you feeling? Do you understand the tradition of Douglas Trojans? Millwood is a great school, and I'm not going to argue about that. On the greatness of Millwood, but then you understand tradition, and that's what is going to put a deep imprint on Millwood Falcons' feathers.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Well, thank you so much.
Isn't that something? That girl.
Calvin, I would like to publicly invite all of you that are running for any kind of office to call me at 424-3949. I would like to have you appear on the Clara Luper radio show. And the people will know that you're running. I don't care who you are and where you are invited. And we have certain guidelines that we go by. And my telephone number is 424-3949. Or you can call out here. And what is this number, Calvin?
That number is easy, Mom. 672-1220. And I know that by now you've called that friend, you called that neighbor, and you are a part of the Clara Luper radio show. If not, make sure you do it. But listen to this special something that we made up for the Oklahoma State Fair that I'm sure you all are going to love. 672-1220 is the number to call.
Okay.
424-3949 is another number to call. If you're running for any political office, not president of your neighborhood block club, like that.
But a state or county or national office. And see, so
I'd like
many
to be
times
president
people
of the Wood
ignore
Club.
black news reporters. Okay, I
Sometimes.
want to hear this ad.
Okay, well, let's hear it. Lex, lay it on us.
You've been waiting all year long. When you decide to go to the Oklahoma State Fair, Look for CP's work. Front of the transportation building. So join Clara, Calvin, Marilyn, and CP at the State Fair. You only have 11 days to taste and know. Then tell somebody about Miss Clara Luper's lemonade, only at the Oklahoma State Fair.
The great State Fair of Oklahoma. Outstanding.
Okay,
Outstanding.
Calvin, once again, we would like to invite all of you that are running for any kind of political office to come here so people can really get to know you. Okay, we have one more call before our guest comes
Good
in.
morning, caller. Thank you for being a part of the Clara Luper Radio Show, live and in beautiful living color.
Good morning, Mother Clara Luper. This is Deacon Palmer.
Yes.
I called to tell you your baby's in the hospital.
Who?
My wife.
Oh, what hospital?
Baptist.
And today's her birthday, too, isn't it?
It was last week.
Last week. We're singing happy birthday to her. Okay, when did she go to the hospital?
Yesterday, I took her to the doctor, and she had a full-blown bladder infection, so they put her in the hospital.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you,
That's
Mom.
my baby.
Well, tell her that
Okay.
when you see her, tell her to turn on the radio. I got another birthday greeting for her. It was on my list here for today. So, but we'll pray with you, and we're praying for her and that everything will get better.
Yes.
But good things happen when you listen to the Clara Luper Radio
That's
Show.
right,
One of the
that's
great
right.
things that is getting ready to happen.
It's a good,
Mom, you
good,
gonna have to tell
good
us
woman.
Oh, I want to hear it myself first.
It's a good
You
woman.
wanna
I
hear it?
want to hear it.
Yeah,
I
what I said,
want to hear it.
it's a good woman running that radio show.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's
Thank
because
you.
she has a great son.
Okay, okay.
Talk to y'all later.
Okay. We're ready. Listen very carefully because I do have a guest here today.
Hello, I'm Harold Roberts, the man with the plan. If you choose me this November to represent you in the Oklahoma legislature for House District 97, you will be choosing a person who has the right background and the experience and is prepared to do the job. I've always been a hard worker focused on results. Over my 30-year career, I've worked from the lowest levels of government to the highest. And most recently, Assistant Director of Judicial Education for the Oklahoma Supreme Court. I've also worked as an entrepreneur, so I know what it is to struggle to make a payroll and to sustain a business. District 97 must have a representative who has been in the trenches and the boardrooms and can relate to the common man and business owners and local government officials and even the governor. If you want a person with broad background who has already demonstrated true know-how and real experience, vote Harold Roberts on November 2nd for State Representative for District 97.
Paid for by Harold Roberts for State Representative.
I heard that, and I was really excited about it because I wanted you, the people, to meet all of the candidates that are running for office. And I have here today the Honorable Harold Roberts. Harold, how are you?
Just fine, Ms. Luper. Thank you for having me.
You are Harold Roberts, is that correct?
Absolutely.
I just heard you that you are the man with the plan, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Tell me about Harold Roberts.
I'm a native Oklahoman and from Oklahoma City, born and raised in northeast Oklahoma City, involved in the NAACP Youth Council as a young man growing up, and as well as being involved in the school desegregation plans for Oklahoma City. Attended Northeast High School. I graduated from Bishop McGinnis High School. I attended Oklahoma City University and Boston College, and I studied political science and public administration. I've worked for city, state, and federal government, and most recently for the Oklahoma State Supreme Court as Assistant Director of Judicial Education, and I worked for the U.S. Department of Commerce and the Bureau of Census as the Field Operations Manager for the state of Oklahoma. And I've also worked for the U.S. Department of Agriculture and the State Department of Education, and I worked for the City of Oklahoma City. And for the last 10.5 years, I served on the Citizens Oversight Board for the MAPS program. So all the improvements that you see in downtown Oklahoma City that we all enjoy today, I had a very integral role in playing in that, and I was in control of better than $40 million of your tax money to see that those projects came in on grand style for this community and for this city.
Since you have done all that, why did you decide to run for the House of Representatives?
So many individuals came to me, Mrs. Luper, over a year ago and asked me to consider running, and after much prayer and consideration, I decided to enter into the race. It was a situation whereby they felt that I had the experience and the background that we need in the legislature in the next few years. And after considering the possible change in demographics in the legislature, there's a 49 and 51 numbers between the Democrats and Republicans in this House of Representatives as it currently stands. The Republicans only need 3 seats to gain control of this House of Representatives. And that's more than likely is going to happen this time. And we need to ensure that we have our seat at the table. And so I decided to go ahead and enter the race to ensure that our issues of our community is heard in this new majority Republican legislature in the House of Representatives.
You're talking about the issues. What are the issues as you see it?
The issues in this community is better job opportunities for District 97 in business and community development and accountability in education and new and improved health initiatives in this community. And we have a plan to address all of those issues, and we will be revealing that plan on the 20th of this month. We have worked very feverishly over the course of the last 12 months to earn the right to ask you for your vote in November. And so we are already working for you, and we're not in the legislature. And a lot of the issues that confronts our community is not things that we can legislate. The quality of life in Northeast Oklahoma City, you can't legislate that. It's about leadership and know-how and experience.
Okay, you're saying, well, I thought a representative just made laws.
No, it's not about making new law. The primary responsibility of a legislator and representative is to do public oversight of the various boards and commissions and state agencies and state government. It is important that we begin, a lot of the things that we need as goods and services from government is already in play and already exists. Our people just don't know how to access it. And so it's my responsibility as a state representative to get you informed and to get you access and to ensure that state agencies and board and state agency heads deliver to the people in my constituents in my community.
How in the world can you do that?
I'm only one person, Ms. Luper, among 150 other legislators. But you have to be a visionary. You have to be inventive about how you get the information to your constituents. And I'm planning to do that. I will be opening an office in my district, not the office at the Capitol. There's an office in the district that you can come to on a daily basis to talk about the kinds of things that you feel the state government should be providing for you. And so that will be the way that I'm going to be giving access, be accessible, I should say, to the people in District 97.
Okay, now you say you prayed over it. What church do you belong to anyway?
I belong to Wildwood Baptist Church. I'm the Christian Education Director there. My pastor is Reverend Earl Bryant.
All right, now you prayed over this before you went into it.
Absolutely. I prayed over it because what I wanted to do, Ms. Luper, is that if I was going to run for this office, I wanted to make sure that I could offer the people something different than what they've gotten in the past. And if I could not make a difference, I did not want to run. And the Lord has given me a vision about this community and some things that I can deliver to the community in short order. Short-term deliverables where we can be able to restore the spirit of a can-do people. Because I believe that our spirit in this community has been broken because we have not been able to experience the wave of prosperity that has been moving through this community over the course of the last 10 years. Other segments of this city has enjoyed that wave of prosperity. We have not. And I think because of the fact we have not gotten the things that we should do, should have. And then we're talking about basic services in government, basic infrastructure issues in our community that has not been addressed. We have one medical doctor servicing all of Northeast Oklahoma City. One doctor housed in all of Northeast Oklahoma City. And you remember the days when we had Dr. Finley and Dr. Atkins and Dr. Tollett, and I can go on and on.
Dr. Barkley, I remember.
Yes, certainly.
We just have one doctor in Northeast Oklahoma City.
That's Dr. Wallace McLear. We got a serious health issues in Northeast Oklahoma City. Hypertension, sugar diabetes. We rank in the highest numbers of syphilis cases in the nation in Northeast Oklahoma City. And we thought syphilis was gone. At least I did. So when I began to study the issues and look at the conditions of our community, we got serious problems. And it's about leadership to change this. We can't legislate that stuff out of the way. It's about leadership and taking the existing programs and government agencies and holding them accountable to address these issues.
You are saying that those issues have not been addressed in northeast Oklahoma City?
Absolutely.
And you're going to do it?
Absolutely. I am the man to do it. If it can be done, and if it's to happen, I'm the person to get it done.
You're the person to get it done. And your name again?
Harold Roberts.
Now, Harold, I noticed you were telling me about all the experiences you've had. Is that true?
Oh, yeah, certainly. It's verifiable.
Okay, well, verified. I don't want to get on this hair and bush wagon. Where one is saying one thing. You're saying that you've had experience in what field?
I've had experience in government and private industry. My first employment was with the Urban League Street Academy back as a junior in high school. I recruited high school dropouts. I left there and went to work for the Oklahoma City Police Department as a community service officer, a CSO officer. If you had interest in becoming a law enforcement officer, you could work and eventually become fully commissioned. I was later recruited by Dr. Leslie Fisher, State Superintendent of Education, to be the State Director of the Child Nutrition Programs, the summer food service programs. At the age of 18 years old, I was State Director for Child Nutrition Program. Had 127 food service sites in the state of Oklahoma. Had a staff of some 14 people working for me, and I did not have a college education. But I had the ability and the know-how to make that program work. And both years of my directorship, I received commendations of excellence from the U.S. Department of Agriculture for administering the Oklahoma program. And I went on to work for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the New England Regional Office in Boston. And we can go on and on. In the private industry, I worked for Liberty National Bank as a systems analyst. The days of Joe Simrod, and you remember Joe was very active in our community with the Urban League and the NAACP, and was very active in affirmative action in terms of hiring African Americans in the banking industry. Remember Eddie Jackson working at Liberty National Bank back in the day. So I went on to work for Omni Hotels as a human resources director, a personnel director. I opened up the Sheraton Century Center Hotel here in Oklahoma City in 1977 as personnel director. I hired 270 folks, and the majority of them were black, working in the service industry in Oklahoma City. So I had an array of experiences that I can bring to bear to this office and to bring some of those kinds of things that we need to this community.
Who are some of the people that will be working for you?
When you say working for me with regards to in the campaign?
Yes.
I have Wayne Chandler Jr. is my campaign chairman. Elaine Childs is my treasurer. Frank Wilson is my campaign manager. My wife is working with me, Robin, and Marissa Jenkins is my volunteer coordinator. And I can go on and on. There are people all over this community has come to bear to realize that I'm the best candidate, and they want to see me in there, and they want to work with me. We've organized a group of individuals called Democrats for Harold Roberts, and Democrats for Harold. Al Dow, the son of Dr. A.L. Dow, is chairman of that committee for Democrats for Harold. And he is recruiting Democrats all over District 97 who is going to be supporting me. So it's not about a party. These people are recognizing that we need good leadership. We need someone who can hit the ground running when they show up in that legislature. We can't afford to send someone out there. We can't afford the luxury to send someone who's inexperienced to this legislature. We're already 20 years behind.
All right, we have some questions that are coming in. How are you going to get these voters excited about you?
On the 20th of September, when we unveil our plan for District 97, the voters of District 97 and the people of this community can only be excited about what I'm offering. We're talking hundreds of millions of dollars of opportunities and investment in this community. And this is what I've been doing for the last 9 months. I've been trying to earn the right to ask you for your vote. And when you hear what our plan is on the 20th, I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars of investment. We're talking about creating jobs that are high value, high quality, high skill, high paying jobs. Not just make do jobs. We're talking real jobs, opportunities, and we're talking hundreds of jobs. And so when this plan is unveiled on the 20th, the people in this community are going to say, Harold Roberts is the man
Oh,
with
wait a
the
minute.
plan.
Now, let me ask you. You talking about you're going to unveil a plan. How are you going to do it?
I'm going to do it with you, Miss Luper. People just like yourself, and
Now, I'll be out to the fair selling catfish.
well, you need to take the morning off on the 20th where you can hear this.
Yeah, I can't afford it. I can't afford it.
But no, what we're planning to do is have a number of individuals. We're having dignitaries from all over the country here, and we're bringing people in from around the city and the metropolitan area at the unveiling of this plan. Therefore, the people can say, okay, well, he's just not just blowing smoke and giving us blue sky. Obviously, everyone can't be in on this trick, so he's obviously have done this work, and this verifiable.
You mean to tell me you've been working on a plan for 9 months?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, almost a year now, certainly.
Explain how you've been working.
Ms. Luper, I have visited with every state agency head in the state government. I've sit down and reviewed their budgets, and in reviewing their budgets, I want to know how they're spending their money, and how their agencies is servicing the people of District 97 and the African American community, not only in Oklahoma City but in the state of Oklahoma, and how they've been responsive. And then I also have visited with a number of stakeholders in our community, business owners, people who's running institutions, people in the faith-based community. And I've been trying to ascertain what are the priorities. What do you want to see in your next legislator? And as a result of doing that, that's how we developed and built our plan.
Okay, so it's not an individual plan, something that you just cooked up.
Oh, no, absolutely not. No, it's no cook-up here.
Oh, it's a plan that, go back over that, because that's exciting. That's kind of different.
Yeah. When you decide to run for public office, I believe that one must begin to first do an assessment of what's going on in the community. And you need to talk to stakeholders in the community before you decide to run. And then you can be able to build a platform. And we prayed about this because I said, I don't want to run and try to represent this community and be more of the same. I wanted to make a difference. And I want to do it in short order because I wanted to restore the spirit of our people and hope and prosperity, because we are a can-do people. And we have not been able to get out of the mud because of our leadership. I just tell you straight out. It's a leadership thing for having a vision. This whole thing about politics and public office and running in the public arena is about vision and ideas. It is not about making new law. It's about vision and ideas. And people buy vision and ideas. They don't buy a political party. They shouldn't be buying a political party. We shouldn't be going to the poll in November to sustain a relationship to the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. We're going to the poll to vote for change. And that's what has to happen. And so we got to split our ticket in November. And I know there are people in our community who wants to go do some bushwhacking. Well, go ahead and whack Bush if you feel like you need to do that. But don't whack me in the process, because all politics is local. We got to split our ticket. We need to be voting for the individual. Every Democrat is not for you, and every Republican is not against you. And if you decide that you want to go out there and do some bushwhacking, you go right ahead. But I'm telling you, you don't want to whack me in the process, because I think we'll be cutting our nose off to spite our face in terms of progress and prosperity in this community.
We have someone on the line. Hello, this is Clara.
Yes, good morning. This is Reverend Burris. I'd like to ask the candidate a couple of questions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Mr. Roberts, I heard you talking about jobs, and you're talking about health. What are your plans for the health care in this district? And also, since the labor laws is $5.15 an hour, how are you planning to get higher wages for better paying jobs?
Okay, a very good question. Answer your health question first. We have devised a plan working with the congressional delegation and other medical professionals around the country how we can address the medical needs for Northeast Oklahoma City based upon the conditions that has been outlined or the conditions that have been identified in this Oklahoma State Health Report that comes out each year. And you will hear on the 20th of what that's about. The minimum wage issue, these jobs is not minimum wage jobs. These are high-skilled jobs. These jobs pay anywhere from $18 to $22 to $24 an hour. So these are not jobs that can even be put in the realm of minimum wage. and I'm not proposing any type of increase in minimum wage in terms of the state increasing the minimum wage over what the federal rates are. And that issue will be addressed by the federal government at some point. I think that presidential candidate John Kerry is proposing an increase in the minimum wage at the federal level. Let them handle that there. But we're talking about bringing in quality businesses, providing quality, high-skill, high-paying jobs for Northeast Oklahoma City.
Well, how are these people going to be trained for these jobs?
Gee, that's a part of my plan, Ms. Luper, and I tell you, we've also set up a training mechanism to ensure that these individuals who are interested in these jobs and who want to pursue this kind of work, we got a way to get them trained to take advantage of it. And if you've been unemployed for a year, or you've been misplaced from a previous job and can't see your way clear to get this training, we got a mechanism to get that done for you.
And all that's going to be unveiled when?
September the 20th, on the morning September the 20th, we unveil all of the plan.
And what time is that?
That is at 9 o'clock, September the 20th, and we will, you'll be excited. I'm so excited about it. I'm just chopping at the bits to tell it. I want to tell it. Tell it.
Well, how will people contact you?
Yeah, you can feel free to contact me at my campaign headquarters at 605-8078. That's 605-8078. Or you can call my home at 607-8385.
Okay, would you repeat that, please?
My home is 607-8385, and my campaign headquarters number is 605-8078.
Okay, Calvin has a question.
No, I don't have a question. I want to know if we can hear that commercial again. Everybody's sitting there, they still, Harold's the man. That was an exciting commercial.
Well, let's hear it again.
I'm enjoying what you're saying, and I want to thank you for being a part of the Clara Luper radio show, coming out and sharing with our most intelligent listening audience what is going to happen. I'm looking forward to what you're saying, October the 20th.
September 20th.
September the 20th. I'm looking forward to that. If I could just speed up the clock, I'd like to hear it this morning. But we invite you to stay tuned and to keep your ears open, keep your eyes open. And Harold Roberts, even though he has an R behind his name, I don't think that's the issue here. I love that vision that you have for District 97, and it also affects District 99. It also affects the whole East Side community.
Absolutely, and I thank you for having me on the Clara Luper Show, Ms. Luper, you and Calvin both, and I ask that you will have me back after the 20th. Therefore, we can talk specifically about the plan, so the people to know.
Don't worry, we're going to have you back and talk about the plan. We also going to have other candidates and talk about the plan.
Well, they're invited.
Okay, I want to hear that commercial one more time.
Hello, I'm Harold Roberts, the man with the plan. If you choose me this November to represent you in the Oklahoma legislature for House District 97, you will be choosing a person who has the right background and the experience and is prepared to do the job. I've always been a hard worker focused on results. Over my 30-year career, I've worked from the lowest levels of government to the highest. And most recently, Assistant Director of Judicial Education for the Oklahoma Supreme Court. I've also worked as an entrepreneur, so I know what it is to struggle to make a payroll and to sustain a business. District 97 must have a representative who has been in the trenches and the boardrooms and can relate to the common man and business owners and local government officials and even the governor. If you want a person with broad background who has already demonstrated true know-how and real experience, vote Harold Roberts on November 2nd for State Representative for District 97.
Paid for by Harold Roberts for State Representative.
Well, you drawing a crowd in there with that ad. Good luck, best of luck to you. You know, Mom, we're running short on time, but I want to extend my condolences to the David Walker family, where their Auntie Susie Robinson services will be held at 11 a.m. Monday at the Temple Funeral Home. And she's a long-time listener to the show. That family listens to us and pays attention. They also in District 97. I also want to remind you on September the 18th, Saturday, for 8 to 9 o'clock, the St. John family will be having a seminar on addiction in the family, recovery and spirituality, testimonies on how addiction has affected, and how you can come out of the addiction stages. 12-step role play will be going on. Need more information, call St. John Baptist Church or Viola Bray at 478-3344.
Okay, this is really an exciting day in our job in the news business. I'm like Abram Ross. I don't make the news, I just report the news. And once again, I would like to invite any candidate. Now, don't say Clara Luper ignored you. I want you to be a part of the Clara Luper radio show, because if you have a plan, I want to hear your plan. But if you don't have a plan,
I want to hear that.
I want you to come out and tell me, I do have a plan for you. I plan for you to come to the Oklahoma State Fair and get you some Clara Luper's lemonade, CP's catfish, Miss Merlin's gumbo, and Calvin Luper's French fries.
Gracious, don't call my name like that.
How shall I call it?
Just say those delicious, those golden brown. Cut just right. Seasoned spectacularly. Oh, you got to enjoy it. Sit back, relax. And I might even have some tapes of the show, Mom, but I got a few birthdays to go through right quick.
Be sure to go through Miss Golston, Mrs. Knight, Mrs. Lucia Williams, Mrs. Fred Elkins down in Texas, Mrs. My child, Miss Palmer, who's in Baptist Hospital.
Okay, ready? And Miss Palmer, this is going to get her going, too. I'm going to fire her up. I'm ready.
She said you can't sing.
I got something for her.
Okay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Palmer. Happy birthday, Mrs. Williams. Happy birthday, Mrs. Elkins. Happy birthday to you. But may you, but may you have many, many more.
Now you're proving to the world that you cannot sing, and you've been very honest. You said you couldn't sing, and you have proven it. This is Clara Luper saying, don't forget to take out your NAACP membership. Don't forget that. And it's interesting. Now, we have been running down some stories on some schools that we will be reporting on, but we've got to get the facts, and we got to have the facts in writing. I would like to thank you, Mr. Roberts, for being my very distinguished guest today.
Thank you.
I would like to thank Mr. Wilson for being my guest. And Calvin, I want to thank you. And whatever you do, be sure and get out and register in order that you can vote. This is Clara Luper saying, stay out of trouble. Stop stealing. Stop killing. Stop cursing. And stop acting a fool. This is Clara Luper saying, I do love you. Bye-bye. And remember, give me my roses while I live. And thank you, Mr. Riley.
And we'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to the Clara Luper Show. Join Sister Clara Luper here each and every Saturday from 9 until 10 at your number one gospel station, KTLV. And until next Saturday, may God bless you.
And the views and opinions expressed on the preceding program were not necessarily those of AM Radio 1220 KTLV.
Father, I need your help in a hand.
Kate.